Hey everyone, it's Kabir here. So we were pending in some concepts in CSS, so we are going to cover all that concepts which were the pending, right guys? So today we are going to start with the transformation concept. So what is transformation? Now if you wanted to transform your object from one state to the another state, for example, you have created one div and you have displayed some content. So whenever you are going to keep your cursor there, now it should change its direction or its axis, its coordinates. If such kind of animations if you wanted to make, then we go for the transformation concept. Now what? Let us understand it by doing the code. So first of all, I required the like HTML skeleton. So I will be saying like doc tab. So we got the HTML skeleton. So let me remove this thing meta. So after removing this, let me use the title and let me say something like transformation. Okay guys, now what I wanted to do, I wanted to create a section. So let me create one section. In this section, let me take a concept called article, and I will be taking a P and let me say a long run something like 40 tab. So I have created a section. In that I have created an article. Inside article I took a P paragraph and I have displayed some kind of content. So I'm going to copy this article and I'm going to display something like 4 articles. Okay, now if you go to your browser and look the output, it is going to look like something like this. Okay, now I wanted to make some design for this. So for that we have to go with the CSS. So inside head tag, let's take a style tag and let me give some background color for the section. So I'll be saying background color and let me take dark gray, something like that. Okay, fine. Now after taking this one, let me give some padding. Padding should be something like 10 pixel, and let me take some margin. Margin should be something like 10 pixel as well. And if we see the output now, it is going to look something different. Now this is our output. Now I wanted to give some styling for the articles as well. So this article is the child of your section. So section space article. Now these are the selectors which you have to learn in the CSS. Already I have took, so you can refer the previous videos so that you can understand the how can we select different elements in different process, like using ID, some classes, using tag names, all that, right? Now this is a section article. Now I wanted to give some background, so this time I'm just taking background and linear gradient as a concept. So 45-degree black and some combination of two color like dark blue. Okay, fine. And the color should be white. Color should be white. And I want some padding as well. So padding should be something like 10 pixel. Apart from that, I want margin as well. Margin should be some 10 pixel. Okay, so let me take a width. Width should be something like 250 pixel, or let me take as 210 pixel. Okay, now if you see, the structure is going to change completely. Now this is the concept. Now we know that these are the block elements. I wanted to make it as an inline. So for that we have a property called display. So I'm going to say inline block. Now save here and come here, just refresh. Now we got inline, right? So let me increase the font size. So let me take a font size, should be something like 18 pixel, or let me take it as a 20 pixel. Now if you refer, now 20 is not looking that great, so let me take it as 18 pixel. Yeah, now this is fine, right guys? Now let me take everything in the center. So I will be saying in the section text align should be center. That's it. Now if you come here and just refresh it, now you got some kind of structure. Right now we wanted to apply the transform properties on this particular elements. So whenever I'm going to keep my cursor, it is nothing but whenever I'm going to hover, some change transformation has to be applied. So for that, what I'm going to do, I wanted to give some classes for all the articles. So let me give class equals to something like transform one, and let me copy this class and give to all the articles that we have in this particular page. So article, so space, and we have the space. Right, now I wanted to apply some stylings whenever I'm going to hover. It is nothing but dot transform one, right, colon hover. So now what we need to apply, I need to apply a background which should be linear gradient, and this time the 45-degree, and change the color from black, and the combination of black dark blue to black, something like coral. Let us see how it is going to look like. Now if you refresh it, so now it is not applied. So let me see whether we wrote the right, it's a trans, so it should be R, save it, come here, refresh it. Now we are able to see some kind of hover, right? Now we wanted to apply the transformation. So if you wanted to apply this transform property, we have divided, this has been divided into some parts like transform, translate. Translate is nothing but it will move from your present direction towards your x direction, and y will move in y direction, and translate, just if you give value to 10 and 20, it will move x and y direction in the both the direction. In the same way, we have skew, means it is going to just skew little bit, like how our doors will be moving, right? When you are open the door, it is nothing but skewing, it is coming inside going outside, right? Something like that. Scale is used for the zoom in and zoom out properties, and rotate is used to for the rotation of your object or elements. So let us see step by step, you guys can understand. So let us understand first translate. So coming to our code, now here let me give transform, the key should be transform, guys, just you have to remember, and translate in x. Okay, now how much you have to translate, I'm saying like something like 30 pixel, you have to give some value. So if I save it and come our browser and refresh it, now if you see, now it is moving, right? Everything is moving. If you hover, it will move 30 pixel in the x-axis. Now if you want it to move in the x-axis only, but it should move towards left, then you have to give the value minus. If you give the value minus and just refresh it, now it is moving in y value. It's nothing but in the negative direction, that is nothing but in the left. Now if you want it should move in top, like top down, then you have to give translate y. Instead of x, you have to give this time translate y. Y should be capital, guys. So just refresh it, now it is moving up. Right now it should move down, means you have to just remove the minus, right? Just remove the minus, it will move down. If you wanted to apply, it should move in both x-axis and the y-axis, then you have to give the only translate, and you have to give the two values like 10x pixel, something 30 pixel, 10 pixel. Now if I'm going to refresh it, now it is moving in the both the side. Now it is coming down, it should go up, means you have to give just y value, means you have to give just negative value. So now this is the concept of your translate, right guys? Now in the same way, we have one more like a script, so let us understand that. So I'm going to copy this section, right? So let me go here, and this time let me take some HR. Okay, fine. Now this time I'm going to change the value of class from transform1 to transform2 for every articles in the section 2. Okay, fine. Now just we have to come here and just copy this particular content, just paste here and change the value from 1 to 2. Now this time, instead of translate, we'll see the skew. So SKEW. So XKX it's same like that only, but here you have to give the value in degree. So I'm saying 10 degree. So just see how it is going to be applied. Now if you refresh it, now if you come here down, if you hover, now it is moving, right? Now this concept is called your script. Now if you give the value in the negative, now come here and just see, refresh. Now this is in the different direction, right? In the same way, if you can give one more like y, if you give the y, just see, come here, just refresh it. Now even you can give the both the values, like how we gave the translate. So script, and you can give both the values, something like 10 degree. Let's see how it is going to behave. If you come here and just refresh it, now this is how it is behaving. Now this kind of animations you can do using the transform, and this is for the translate, and this is nothing but skip. So this is the concept of your transformation. So we have many, more to like rotate and the scale. Let us see that. So I'm going to copy this from HR to section, and this time let us change the value to be 2 to 3. So I'm saying 3, this should be 3, right guys? After saying it as a 3, now let me go to our style and just copy this content, paste here, and let me change the value to 3, and this time I want it should be something like scale X. Okay, now you have to give the value above 1. It means it will zoom. If you give value less than 1, it will zoom in. If you wanted to make it as a zoom out, you have to give the value above 1. Like suppose I'm giving 2. Now if you come here and just refresh it, now you got one more, right? Now this is zooming, right? It is zooming much more, right? So you have to give the value more than 1. So let me give something like 1.2 and come here, and if I refresh it, now this is the concept of your, it is increasing, right? Now suppose if I say it has 0.5, or decreasing, right? Now if you wanted to make zoom in zoom out effect, just remove the scale and give the value 0.5. Now if you refresh it, now this is zoomed in. Now if you wanted to make it as zoom out, just you have to give the value more than 1. Let's see 1.5. Now if you refresh it, now this is the zoom. Now this is the concept of your simple scale. So now in the same way, if you wanted to rotate it, you have the concept called rotate. So let me go here, copy. You have much more value, guys. You have to go through the MDN, you have to understand. I have explained you the basic concepts of all this. Apart from that, you have so many values, so you can do that, right? So this time let me make it as a 4. Okay, once we have made it as a 4, now let me come here and just copy this, and this time I'm going to make it as a 4, and instead of scaling, let me say rotate in X in some degree, 10 degree. Now if you refresh it, now it is rotating, but you are not able to see, right? So let me increase the value from 50 degree and refresh it. Now it is rotating very fast. That's why we are not able to see that effect, guys. Now if you want it should be in very slow, for that we have a concept called transition, which we are going to see in the next video. Okay, Now just see if I give just rotate here, and if I say like this, now let us see how it is going to behave. Now this is behaving right. If I say like 150 and come here and just refresh it, now this is how it rotates, right? Now this is the concept of your rotate. In the same way, you have the value like rotate, rotate x, rotate y, right? In the scale, scale x, scale y, scale. So all these are the transformation concepts, and these concepts are introduced in your CSS3. Apart from that, they have introduced the concepts like transition, which we are going to see in the next video. Then we have something like media query, where we wanted to make our website responsive, right? We don't wanted to use a bootstrap, but we wanted to use CSS and make it as a responsive. Then you have to go with the concept called animations and media query in the CSS3, which has been introduced. Apart from that, they have introduced one of the main concept called flexbox. Now that is very, 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 very important. You guys have to understand, so that we are going to make a step by step, right? Today we have released this video. Tomorrow we will be releasing one more video on transition, then media query, then we will go for the flexbox. Okay, now in this way we'll be completing our CSS part, HTML part, and the bootstrap. Okay guys, so that's all guys. Thanks for watching the video.